Saturday's Alabama versus LSU game has been postponed, along with Tennessee versus Texas A&M, because of beer bug test. More nonsense, more just ridiculous clown world BS. There's no consistency to this thing. This is why I'm not invested in college football at all. I'm an Alabama fan. Alabama's the number one team in the nation. I don't care. It doesn't even feel like a real season. Trevor Lawrence being out last week, yet he can be on the sidelines dropping his mask to talk to people. It's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. We can't have a college football game, but people can go out in the streets and celebrate after Joe Biden's victory, according to the mainstream media, like it's New Year's Eve, and they can party and they can scream and cry and whine and yell and no social distancing whatsoever. They're out there kissing and sharing drinks, but yet Trump does a rally and it's called a super spreader event and people are dying. Yet we can go and we can protest in the streets and burn cities to the ground. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I have no idea what to think anymore. But, I mean, like I said, this right here, this puts it into perspective how stupid this is. Where Trevor Lawrence, one of the best players in college football, if not the best player in college football, can't play, but he can stand on the sidelines with his mask down to talk to his teammates. You have players that are on the field sitting there tackling each other all game long, yet you have the coaches that are getting fined if they don't wear their mask. I just do not take this college football season seriously at all. None of it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel real. It feels like something that will be forgotten. And again, I say this as an Alabama fan. I say this as someone that my team is looking really good. Alabama looks like they're probably the best team in the country, at least a top two, because Clemson with Trevor Lawrence is definitely right there with Alabama. But of course, Trevor Lawrence being out back-to-back weeks, and the fact that Clemson lost, even though they shouldn't have lost because they shouldn't have been without Trevor Lawrence, this is all just a nonsensical joke. And I'm not as upset about this as I normally would be. Like, if this was a real season and Alabama versus LSU gets postponed over some nonsense, I would be very, very upset. At this point, I just don't care. It's just the narrative surrounding this and everything is just, it's getting tiresome. I'm tired of the hypocrisy. I'm tired of certain situations being completely acceptable and others being not acceptable. Why is it acceptable for people to be in the streets in New York and all over, shoulder to shoulder, celebrating when the media announces Biden wins? Why is it okay for BLM to go riot in the streets and burn cities to the ground, but it's not okay for college football to happen? It's not okay to have a barbecue in your backyard. It's not okay to go to church. It's not okay to have a wedding. None of those things are okay, but it's okay to burn cities to the ground. This just makes no sense at all. This is absolutely ridiculous. So I don't care per se. I don't care that the game has been postponed. I care about the fact that we're continuing to deal with nonsense and hypocrisy. If there's something to worry about, and we should fear for our lives, and we should be locked in our houses, then there should not be any exceptions to the rule. And there's clearly plenty of exceptions when there is political motivations involved. That's what I see. So, whether Alabama wins the championship or not, I mean, obviously I'll be happy, but I don't think that this is a real year. I don't take this as a real year. This year probably will have an asterisk next to it. Will that happen in the NFL? I mean, at least the NFL's getting a little bit more consistency. Their entire situation hasn't been affected too much. There has been certain situations like the New England Patriots that have been affected, but generally speaking, the NFL's doing a little bit better. But even that, without any fans being there, it feels weird. I don't know. Sports is just trash right now. And the country is just in such a weird place. And if you want to know exactly why I feel the way that I feel or what my specific feelings are about all of this, you can subscribe to my personal channel, D-Day Cobra, where I talk about a lot of this stuff over there. But that's it. No Alabama, LSU game. No Texas A&M, Tennessee game, at least not this weekend. We'll see what happens, but I guess the players can still show up and stand on the sidelines and drop their masks and still have full-on conversations. Just can't play a football game unless they're there to celebrate Joe Biden's victory according to the mainstream media, and then it will be completely justifiable. Or if they just want to get together and go burn cities to the ground, that's okay too, because this is the clown world we live in. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.